Alright, good morning everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good Monday and is having a good Tuesday morning. I just want to go over some stuff from yesterday, I guess. So like we said yesterday, had this big gap and kind of expected it to close yesterday. It did. So ended up closing after the 3 o'clock bell. So futures close at 4. But the 3 o'clock bell went off. This is CST. Um, so yes, ended up closing the gap completely. Right about what time was this? So at 3:30, 3:35, something like that. Had a couple good trades. I didn't take all of these. I only took the first one. So I took this first one for 30 points. Then of course you had this absolutely massive candle like ripping up and going through all the EMAs, breaking through all the zones. There's no zone here, so that's pretty safe to take. And then you get this. I'm just going over the trades from yesterday just because I got time. You get a hoagie forming. You don't necessarily have this zone yet, so this zone is actually something that I drew today. So this, you get this hoagie forming right here, and then you get another bar, which is also a hoagie in that, and then so you can go long above. I'd go long above the first one, so go long above this bar right here, and then of course your stop is right there. And it goes sideways for a very long time. Goes sideways for a super long time. You're going for 1 ATR, but if it finally eventually hits it, I think what is the ATR here? 65. Golly, 65 points. Well, it finally hits it up here somewhere. So you do get another entry right there. So yeah, just kind of how it is. And then for today, like I said, we got this zone from here yesterday. From this zone, you got a kind of a bounce right there, bounce right here, bounce right there, bounce right there, and then kind of like inside price action right here. But the main thing that clued me off to it was this right here, that there's something going on right there. Then you also got this other little small zone right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces there. And then of course this up here from just the 5 o'clock open yesterday. And then of course this big zone right here, which, not big zone, this zone right here, which bounced off twice pretty hard, which we had drawn yesterday. There's a fair amount of reactions to it. And then I just have this one down here. And then also this like angled support. I know there's a lot right there, but that's just kind of what I see going into this morning. So we'll trade over to go over to NinjaTrader, see what we got going on. Let's see here. Don't really want to take an engulfing either. I mean, if this were like below here, I would take. Let me rephrase. Could be open for an engulfing short, but the engulfing short has to come down and like put the wick down here somewhere, go up, and then come back down. That's the only way I would take it. Reasons being, of course, you have this like diagonal resistance right here, or a diagonal support right here. That's kind of keeping this up. I drew it off of kind of more so this candle rather than these really big wick candles. Just I thought that was a little bit more accurate, and it kind of caught the top of it and kind of the bottom of it a little bit better. And you also have this zone, so if it comes down, goes up, and then comes back down again, I think that'd be a pretty strong signal for an engulfing short. You're going away from the 200 EMA. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let's see, we are red right here as far as the Heikin-Ashi candles go. So we'll see what we got going on. Excuse me. Oh, the coffee smells good. ATR isn't crazy big, it's only 20 points. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Kind of that's what I'm thinking. I would either like to take that kind of engulfing short, or if it's a strong, like bearish bar, I would like to take that as well. Um, any kind of bullish bar, I'm not really super interested in, but we'll see what we get, what sets up. Okay, so we have broken above that. Like I said, I didn't want to take an engulfing long because of this zone right here. I don't want to trade into that. It might be a great trade. You never know. It's just not one that I was really interested in. But I would be interested if it comes back down short in the same candle. That's the other thing. In the same candle. $75 to 510, so 35 points. It did react off of the 200 quite often, and it took off a little bit right there. We'll see what we get going on. I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, such is life. Any kind of entry inside of this zone I'm not really interested in. Alright, so we got nothing. We're checking out. See what happens. I'm going to go ahead and extend this. I'm going to make some coffee because, well, I'm going to finish making my coffee. But yeah, not interested in taking this. If it was, given the ATR is pretty small, if it was like, if it had closed up here, if the wick was up here, if entry would be up here, then I would think about taking it. But it's not. It's inside of that zone, and you've got these two really long wicks right here, and that as well, plus where I got this zone from. So not my favorite. So we're just gonna hold off. Maybe another trade will set up. Maybe it won't. You're just gonna be watching me make my coffee. So we see it did break up long. See what happens with it. Alright, got the coffee made. Okay, so we got to switch to green. What could happen is, since we're giving it a little bit more time lately, just to just to watch the markets a little bit more, like I'll probably take off at, what do I have today? Premier jobs, got 4? Got to see how many jobs I have today. 5, got 5. What is this? Two batteries. Dang, took off. Jobs in Frisco. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, that took off. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes they work, sometimes... Oops. Took off pretty good. Yeah, now all we can really hope for is maybe like a little bounce or something like that. A bullish candle, some kind of candle formation like this or like this. That is a, whatchamacallit, a new swing low for an entry off the smooth Heikkanashi setup. So that's kind of what we're looking for at the moment. We'll see what we get. Or a hoagie. You never know. Plenty of options. But yeah, like I said, didn't enter that just because it's inside of this zone. There's been many times where I've entered in a zone and in a zone I've drawn and it just hasn't worked out. I could have drawn this zone incorrectly. You never really know. But I mean, I liked where I had it, so I'm happy about that entry. Obviously, the zone's a little bit correct because didn't close inside the zone and I'm bouncing right off of it. So there's a little validity right there. So we'll see what we got going on. Addison, Flower Mound, Richardson, Frisco. Dang. I gotta start there. I got my cleats delivered. Got some cleats, some football cleats, so that way I can go running nearby. Because saw a stat the other day where I can't remember what the exact percentage was, but it's a very low percent of men do a full-on sprint after the age of 30. I'm 29, so I would like to still be athletic. I played college sports, so sprinting was a big part of that, obviously, and it's good for you. So I need to start sprinting. Got to take it slow though, because it's been a long time, 8 years since I've sprinted, so gonna take it real slow. Oh yeah, that's good. Can't beat a good coffee in the morning, especially when you're looking at the charts. It's honestly one of my favorite things that I've come across, trading. Y'all are just gonna get me talking because I'd have nothing else to do. Trading is like one of the few things I've found since I stopped playing baseball that is super intriguing to me, and it's very challenging. Baseball is pretty challenging, but different kind of sense of challenging. Like baseball, it was challenging against other people. Trading is challenging against literally only me, and it's like the sad reality is like if you have consistent discipline in trading, you can do very well, but having that consistent discipline is so tough. Obviously, because I've blown two eval account, one funded account and two eval accounts because I went on tilts one day or whatever. So still trying to control that part. It's getting easier, but still trying to control it. That's another reason why I'm recording these, so that way y'all, the ether, the 3 views that I get on these videos can help me stay accountable with my trading plan. Get the lid of this thing, because I'm gonna spill it. But yeah, I don't know. Trading is just so interesting. There's so many. You just look at charts and watch YouTube videos, and recognize patterns, see patterns happening, see things that happen on chart. I don't know. It's just all super interesting to me. And it's the biggest single market there is in the entire world. Equities. That and real estate and oil. But yeah, the goal is to pass one Apex account, then pass 2, then pass a few, then pass all 20, and then go to others. It's like I have a checklist right here of what I want to get to. And just on this list, I have 66 accounts that I would have. And then there's a few other prop firms that I would like to get with. I think it comes out to a total of like 110 accounts, 120 accounts, or something like that. That I'd be trading simultaneously all at once. How I'm going to do it, don't really know. Probably have to use Quant Tower, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Could get a possible hoagie setup right here. This candle just has to stay inside of this long candle. Excuse me, right here. Which it would be a good trade because 23 to 72, there's plenty of room here to this next zone. All of these will likely be green candles. Green Heikenhashi candles, so these two are green for the moment. This one will likely be green, just given how green this candle was. So we'll see what happens. If it sets up, then that'd be a good trade to take, I think. Oops. You'll sell my account number, but I don't think it really matters. And it would probably be about a 30-point trade, so we'll just get to 30 points and be ready for it. This is honestly one of my favorite setups, this hoagie setup. I like this setup a lot. It's usually pretty reliable. It's usually a good, strong signal. It's really strong if like both of these inside candles close near the top. Um, it's the strongest if like you get this and then the next candle comes and like goes below and then breaks above, like engulfs it. That's a really strong signal. But yeah, we'll see what we get going on. It might do it. It might not. Nothing beats a good coffee. Unless you get like one of your dog's hairs right there. Oh, that wasn't great. But yeah, want to get all of these funded accounts, trade them how I trade this in a controlled way, in a consistently disciplined way. Um, Pay off some debt, and then maybe buy a house somewhere. Buy up like because I'm a handyman. That's what I do during the day. So buy up buy a house, a little bit of a fixer in like a nice area. Um, Fix it up a little bit, live in it for a couple years, sell it, maybe rent it by the room. I don't know. It depends. I'm single, so I don't care about renting by the room. But maybe if I had a girlfriend, they would care. I don't know. I have a dog, so it depends. They'd have to be okay with living with the dog, but we'll see. Come on, don't break, don't break. But yeah, and then I want to rent, or I want to buy Section 8 property. Is what I want to do. I know they did this whole like federal fund freeze and stuff, but Section 8 still pays. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. No, don't do it. It'll probably break, honestly. And then we might just be waiting. Ah. Don't do it. Oh man, look at that. That is crazy. That's wild. That was the closest I've ever been to that. Okay, it's 27 points, 54, so we're just gonna lower this a little bit. Because this is a 1 ETR trade, so. What a wick. 23.5 plus 28. What would that be? 50, 51.5? Yeah. Okay, it didn't even get there at first, so cool. I was about to be like, did it get there on that first? That week, honestly, was probably like it catching one person's order. Ow. God, I love coffee. I don't know who invented coffee, but they are an absolute genius. Alright. We are out of there. Cool. Like I said, just to give a recap of the trade, it was a hoagie trade. You can kind of see a little bit better over here. Just kind of gives you a glance of, or it gives you like the signal of the hoagie, see hoagie pattern. I don't even know if that's what it's called. I learned it off of a guy on YouTube, but the guy on YouTube is pretty good at explaining things. Couldn't even tell you what the name is. I might be able to find it, but here, I'll give you credit right now. Let's see. You'll see who all I'm subscribed to. Quant Trade Edge. That's what it is. Quant Trade Edge. So, had a hoagie pattern set up, built up at the top of the candle, which is a strong, that indicates a lot of strength. The smooth Heikinashis, they were all green on the candles. Your 10 EMA was above the 21 EMA. There was no zone up here. So it all just kind of lined up to be a really nice trade. Probably again, once I get a little bit more drawdown in the accounts, that would be a trade that I'd want to size up on, just because it's a pretty high probability trade with a big gap like this, with a big gap in zones, um, to hit 1 ATR. So you could probably go to 2, 3. I'd say like 3 contracts max is about what you want to go. But again, you got to be careful on what happens with the candles, because in the instance of this, it went up, it went all the way almost to our take profit, like 5 points away from our take profit, and then came all the way back down below entry. So you have to be able to weather that drawdown. Is the only thing, and the only way you can weather that drawdown in funded accounts is to have a cushion past your drawdown amount. So I would probably need to feel comfortable in a trade like that to take 3 contracts. I would need probably like $10,000 worth of cushion, just because like if I enter that trade with 3 contracts, and I lose that trade, then it's like that's a big loss. And then you got to be able to have the cushion, the cushion afterwards to be able to try and recover that loss. So like 10,000, 15,000 even. That's probably like what you're looking at. But yeah, Uh, Good trade. Probably go up to this zone. Honestly, I feel like it'll probably go maybe up until the open at the 5 o'clock open price. Also, the high of day is right here. The high of session is right here as well. The high of his 23-hour session or whatever. So it could break through that. I mean, it could just keep going. You never really know. But we got our trade in. Like I said, I got 5 jobs today. 5 jobs, 4 locations. So I got to get going. I got to drive to Frisco. That's going to be like at this time of day, that'll probably be like an hour, 10-minute drive, hour, 15-minute drive. So that's going to be a good little time. But yeah, that was the trading session for today. Up 560, I believe it was. Oh man, my trading view is frozen. There we go. Was it 560? Up 560, yeah. So, I mean, that's one account. Like I said, you do that times, even if I only have 20 Apex accounts, what is that? That's like $12,000, something like that. Is that right? I don't know. 560 times 20? 11,200. Math hard. Oh yeah. Duh. 12,000 be 600. Um, but yeah, so you do that times that, and then I mean you go to the on this paper I have 66 written down, so just multiply that by 3, and that's just one day. So there's a ton of power in the scalability of having these accounts, and also the good thing is with like recording all of these and posting them. If anyone were to ask what my thought process is behind trades, etc., I can just shoot them over to my YouTube, and they can watch that and see. I like recording it raw. I probably will never go live just because there's a lot of distractions in live. There's a lot of chats going on and stuff. It's just that doesn't really interest me too much. But having my session recorded and posted, I think there's a lot of value in that. Just because one, if they ever question it for payouts, it'll be that. You'll get to see what my thought process is for entering trades and try and apply it forward if you want. None of this is advice. I'm just a guy on the internet. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You'll have a good rest of y'all's Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens today. Could be a nice up day. What are we? We're up almost a percent right now, so it could be interesting. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.